Hello Dota fans, welcome to the Bucharest Minor 2019 qualifiers. This is a CIS playoffs where we have Gambit Esports versus Winstrike team as they play it out to find out who's going to be knocked down to the lower bracket and who's going to make it through to the winner semi-finals. And we already have ourselves a bit of a draft. My name is Nomad, and joining me is the man with a plan but no real sense of direction. It is MoFarah.
Joke's on you. I don't have a sense of direction or a plan.
Oh, okay. So I was overselling.
I have no idea what I'm doing. No idea what I'm doing. But I'm looking forward to this game more than the last, has to be said. I feel like this will be a closer one. Gambit obviously doing very well. Got themselves to the last major. Winstrike, a little bit hot and cold at the moment. I'm not sure where they're at, to be honest. They've been having a few good performances, but then again, they'll just crumble every now and then. So hoping we see the good Winstrike today. I feel like a lot of it comes down to whether Iceberg can go crazy or not.
Yeah, Iceberg is the kind of guy you want on your team when you're losing and don't want on your team when you're winning.
Oh yeah, I've heard this. I've heard you've told me this reference before. Where when he plays from ahead, he tends to make a few silly mistakes, but when he plays from behind, plays with his heart and passion just to get back into the games.
Exactly. You know, he's a boxer. He's used to taking a beating, and if he doesn't have a beating, then he doesn't really show up. At least that's what I feel anyway. But obviously, easier said than done. Gambit, they open up with the Lone Druid and Grimstroke, somehow given both of these heroes as Winstrike choose to ban out the Rubik and the Magnus instead. You know, Gambit actually ban out a Drow.
They've been playing this Rubik really well though on Gambit, so I'm not too surprised. But letting Grimstroke through, I feel like this hero is super good still at the moment.
Is Drow good yet though? Like I saw OG play yesterday, and it was awful.
To be fair, I saw that game as well. Drow, even though they didn't win the game, did a huge amount of damage considering how far they were behind. I think it's a decent pick still. I like it. And teams are starting to experiment with it more and more, and I think they've realised that it is still good now. It's just different to before.
You want to hear my ultimate draft, by the way?
Okay, yeah, go on then.
What you do is you have Drow, then you have Visage at mid, and then you have an Alchemist support, and he gives both the Visage and the Drow and Ags.
Where's the Alchemist got the gold for this? Can I just...
Oh, you know.
Bounty runes.
Stuff, bounty runes, yeah, exactly. And then you can bet any old two heroes on the offlane, doesn't matter. You lose your lane horribly because it's Drow Alchemist, but then you come back with the Agnims on the Visage. Easy game.
I see Winstrike with a Beastmaster, and they've banned out Winter Wyvern, which Winter Wyvern, one of the better supports up against Beastmaster, you know, especially with the attack speed aura. It makes it really easy so that when you curse somebody, they tend to just, kill their teammate very easily. So I'm just debating whether this means Winstrike, they really want to push the tempo early here with the Beastmaster, get some kind of push strat going. But I guess it doesn't show with the Winter Wyvern ban. I don't think that shows that 100%, but it's just a possibility.
Well, what kind of heroes do we want to see Iceberg on today?
A bad matchup mid, so that he can lose to start the game, then come back into the game like a top 10 anime kind of player. Just,
exactly. Yeah, Iceberg is an anime. He's anime in Dota player form. Second, of course, to Eternal Envy, who is just
of course,
full anime.
I mean, Envy doesn't come online until 2 sets of racks are gone, so that's like...
Yeah, true. He's the extreme version.
10 seconds remaining.
There's a few heroes here that I'm surprised they didn't get through the first round of picks. They did, like Sanking, for example. I'm not sure how that hasn't been picked up in the first phase. I feel Dazzle as well is another one that hasn't been touched so far by either team, even in bans, which I'm very surprised about. I think it's a possibility for Winstrike.
Yeah, the Beastmaster isn't a hero we're used to seeing in the first phase, but I think Winstrike did this before, the Brewmaster, Beastmaster double up. I don't know, I just remember making that joke before. And
I think Beastmaster has been picked up quite a lot in the first phase, though, I think, especially by a lot of the higher teams like Liquid, for example. They love this Beastmaster hero. Not too surprising. Yeah, that Deuceban, not something you see all the time, but Iceberg's been playing that a decent amount at the moment.
Yep. Definitely a comeback hero. It's what we want.
And I imagine you probably pick your other support here if you're Gambit. Shows whether they want to play the Grimstroke as a 4 or a 5.
I think every time you play against Gambit, you've got to be scared of this Pugner as well, because it's a hero they love pulling out in this second phase, and it can do so much work, and with the Grimstroke as well, it can really turn things around ridiculously. They go for the Centaur Warrunner though, which is another nice hero. Does a lot of work. And also a great hero for protecting the Lone Druid as well with that Stampede.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Like they pop raw. You can get the Ags on the Centaur as well, reduce the damage on that target. But I also like this because it not only is it just like a solid stun. You know, it's like you want catch on your team. What does Centaur give you? Catch. It's nice, but it doesn't give away your lanes. Like it could be Grimstroke 5, Centaur 4. It could be Centaur 3, Grim 4 or 5. You know, Lone Druid's going to play position 1 or 2. It's very open at the moment for Gambit. So it's difficult to draft into that when you're the other team here. Like if you're Winstrike and you see these 3 heroes, you're like, okay, well, we kind of want to have some kind of laning set up here, but we don't really know where any of them are going. So what do we do?
Does Centaur have nipples? You got like tiny little bump.
What were you looking at? Why were you just looking at Centaur's chest?
I don't know. I was just kind of interested. They're not really there, are they? He's got skin-colored nipples. Anyway, back to what were you saying again? I was in a bit of a trance there.
I can't even remember anymore.
Okay.
I
don't think it was as important as what I was saying.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, 100%. I think Winstrike will probably pick their other support here. Probably going to be a position 4 Brewmaster.
Nope, it's an Arc Warden.
Position 5 Arc Warden. There you go. Yeah.
Grid 1 Analyst. Another thing I find weird about Centaur, though, is that he wears a horseshoe on his chest. Imagine like a human wearing like a sandal tied to their chest. You'd think they're pretty weird, wouldn't you?
Oh, that's what I do on Saturday nights.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's me. When we cast tomorrow, I'm just going to wear a sandal.
Some sandal like taped to your chest.
Like,
beautiful.
The Art Warden's okay, just because like when you're playing up against this own Lone Druid, you know he's probably going to be building the range form. The bear build's pretty rubbish at the moment, so the magnetic field around the towers is really good, just because they can't siege quite so easily. But then you're picking it against the Centaur, so they have the Stampede to be able to get on top of the Arc Warden at the start of the fight.
That's a lot of catch, decent amount of catch. One thing though, we've got Chen, and this is a combo I've been waiting for a long time. It's a Chen and Lone Druid. This is really nice because Persons knows your Test of Faith. I don't know, one of the spells. It now gives attack speed, which is really good for the bear when he gets that entangle up. It's a huge amount of catch because he just goes crazy and he's just bound to get the entangle off. So I really like this combo personally.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't mind it. I think that the thing I really want to see more with the Chen is this recall, just pulling the people around the map. I know March was playing this for J-Storm very well, but I haven't really seen too much of this Chen myself yet, so I'm hoping they put in a good performance here, Gambit, so I can big this Chen up in future casts. Otherwise, I'm going to be very disappointed if it doesn't put on a good show here.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen reworked Chen, to be honest.
Yeah, Skyroth Beastmaster. Big hero. Your favourite, isn't it, Skyroth?
I'm a big fan. Not my favourite.
Is Visage your favourite?
Yeah.
Right.
But to watch, I think... I don't know what my favourite hero to watch is, actually. I really like
Centaur
Ruben.
with his nipples, apparently.
Oh, yeah, to gaze at. So there's watching, and then there's watching.
Their lanes look pretty strong at the moment on Winstrike. If they play this Brewmaster as a 5, and then have the Skyroth as a 4 with the Beastmaster 3, their lanes look pretty good. But when you're playing against this Chen, it doesn't matter how strong your lanes look. It feels like sometimes there's some games where the Chen can just dismantle you completely. You have to be a little bit careful. And Chen Grimstroke, again, as those two supports, they're very strong in lanes as well. So we might have a little bit of a bloodbath here at the start of the game in terms of action going on in these side lanes.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of fighting going on from these two teams for sure in the early game. Definitely not going to be a repeat of the last series, which was very slow, very considered, and very boring. But this series is looking already to be pretty hyped up as these teams pick these kind of lane-dominating and big fighting heroes. Yeah, I'm into it. I'm excited. We should have a good game of Dota.
Yeah, it's action-packed already. They have their kind of win condition hero here on Winstrike. So I imagine they want to pick something that can kind of roam the map with the Beastmaster.
Good. They ban out Gambit's Pugner. That's important. Now they're going to pick up the OD. Okay, Iceberg OD. Let's see it. Or maybe Iceberg Arc Warden. I don't even know who's going to be playing what.
I think Silence the Arc Warden player and Iceberg's the OD player, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah.
So it's going to be safe lane Arc Warden, mid OD. Unless it's a really awful matchup. They could swap, I guess. I don't think you really want to play safe lane OD.
10 seconds remaining.
Kind of want that solo XP when you play the outward
seconds
devourer.
remaining.
What do you pick up against this OD mid? You could put the druid there if you wanted. It's not too bad. Decent matchup against the OD, but then what would you pick as your safe lane then if you wanted to do that? Feels like they probably want to put the druid up against this Beastmaster Skywrath just to try and tank up some of that damage coming in the side lane.
I don't know if it still is, but I remember back when OD was a real powerhouse hero, people used to constantly pick low druid to lane against him. So yeah, it will be interesting to see if Gambit do that, which I think they'd probably be more than happy to do.
Okay.
Now they take the Monkey King. So that's the hero which can't lane up versus OD, which suggests that druid will be jumping to the mid lane.
No, Afro Ninja's the mid player.
Okay.
He's. I don't think Monkey King against OD is that bad. It's okay.
No, I guess the range makes it not too bad. But I mean, OD can just imprison him the moment he gets 3 points in Jingu off, and then he's fine. But yeah, it's not a complete domination. What I like to see though is Chen and Monkey King. That's a really potent combination. Again, you know, with the lone druid and his entangle. Well, how about getting those Jingu stacks up super quickly with the new attack speed buff which Chen gives? I really like how they've worked this draft. They're definitely taking it into consideration, and yeah, I like what Gambit's putting down. I'm picking it up.
I think this laning stage is going to be really important for both sides. I think whoever gets ahead is probably going to be favoured going into the mid game. I know that sounds really stupid, but it doesn't happen often like that. Sometimes somebody has a really good laning stage, like we saw in the last series in game 1, and then it just completely turns on its head as soon as somebody gets farmed. But I think if the Chen and Grimstroke can get ahead here, try and close the map out, you know, get this Centaur good blink timing, they could really start to close out this Winstrike lineup. But again, I don't know about this Monkey King. I like what you're saying about the OD versus the Monkey King, but let's see how much Iceberg can do first, because you know we've talked about him a lot.
Oh yeah, we need him to get wrecked. Yeah, we do.
Yeah, exactly.
The only chance that Winstrike have of winning. Alrighty then, let's go. Game number 1 in this best of 3 series is Gambit versus Winstrike. The winner of this will go on to the semi-finals, and then from there the grand finals, and then from there the minor. Not the minor.
It is Druid mid, by the way. They swapped it up. Yep. The Daxax play mid this game. He must just be the lone Druid player, that's why.
Yeah. So it's not a hero which is that easy to
the Brewmaster. They saw him put the ward down.
The ward. I thought they were just tipping the brew there, so that'd be an alpha, like a real alpha play.
I'm really surprised Winstrike didn't smoke for that. Like, because this Druid smoked up and is running at 345 movement speed towards the mid lane. Yeah, he's always going to get that ward out first. Centaur and Grimstroke see the Spark Wraiths in the top lane, by the way. They're like, oh, we didn't want the rune anyway, this is fine.
Centaur just, I guess I'm tanking this. My question is, do you tank it now and get the tango going, or do you just wait and then jump on it all at once? Because these will probably kill you now.
Yeah, you can't go for that at all. You just have to leave it. This is what you see Outgunners do more and more. They buy clarity at the start of the game, and they just pop it just to put the Spark Wraiths down to secure the bounty rune, because it gives you enough gold that you would have... like, it's 50 gold for yourself anyway, so you're just effectively gaining gold by buying the clarity back anyway.
Wow.
And the rest of your team gets gold as well. I know that was a really botched description, but...
You're an idiot. Anyway,
hey, come on, man.
Penitence leveled up on the Chen, so there's that bonus attack speed coming on. And 3 Fairy Fires, meaning this guy is hitting for a grand total of 59 damage. Holy smokes. This guy's going to wreck your shit. You're going to be attacking Machine Gun Chen coming through. Let's get away from Fan School.
We used to see the Blightstone coming up on these position 5 Chens, but I guess they just want to make sure this Grimstroke has more regen in the offlane to be able to work with, so Chen buys up everything.
Yep, and we're going to see this Jingu and Penitence coming into play. Of course, he hasn't leveled up the Jingu just yet. Started with Boundless Strike, interestingly. Not sure I agree with that, but okay.
I mean, the level 1 Jingu's pretty rubbish anyways.
True.
I don't think it makes a huge difference. But this Skywrath's just going to be super annoying to deal with. He's actually only got 1 mango to work with. That's the only mana regen he has. Yeah,
decide to go with the double Mantle of Intelligence and then the Circlet on top of that, which is the interesting thing. Usually we don't see a Circlet, we just see more mana regen. So it keeps spamming out.
It's like a mid-hero build, isn't it? I don't know if you saw what Afro Ninja just did as well.
Yeah, he just dodged it with Mischief.
What a player.
Don't worry, I'm on the ball. I'm always there. Turns out onto non-grata. Okay. Turns onto non-grata, but he doesn't really care either. He's a bit of a... He's pretty hench. Not really that bothered. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, we do have Iceberg versus Dahak. It's Druid versus the OD. Classically, this is a Druid-flavored lane, but of course... Flavored lane? Yeah, whatever. But of course, with all the changes in Dota right now, no one really knows what's going on.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's pretty even at the moment, but this lone Druid's going to be farming lots under his own tower now.
Yeah, Iceberg's in deep. I mean, if they get a TPN on this OD, then could be bad. But Dahak's actually struggling to get the CS here, even. I mean, he is ahead, but...
Can't abandon your side lanes early on to be able to help your mid here. They just have to be able to deal with this 1v1.
And up to the top lane, we have the Centaur and the Grimstrike versus the Brewmaster and the safe lane Arc Warden. As this Centaur is taking a fair chunk of harass here, getting pretty low. To work his way around the Spark Race, which does go to a creep instead. Silent, not exactly healthy himself either, as they're trading and trading and trading up here. A bloodbath, the prophecy was true.
Yeah, you have to be very careful. This Centaur Grimstrike lane has a lot of kill potency. All it takes is one good Inkswell into a stomp, and there's not many heroes that can stand up to that.
Yeah, it really does hurt. Meanwhile, Skyrath actually drops very low bottom lane as Vanscore just chases him down with his penitence.
Lane as well.
But top, yep, they're going. Always want to fly, drop in low. There's that Inkswell coming out, but he actually gives up because the Spark Race coming down into him. Maybe trying for Silent as well, but neither of them are going to fall. So Gambit left empty-handed in this top lane, but they're very low. King R going for the snipe. Silent. Oh, he's dropping so low. King R coming up with the right clicks. Needs two more, I think. No, one will do the trick. Silent drops down, and King R finds the kill. Meanwhile, there's a panda which dies somewhere. Just denied to tower, down to creeps.
Always want to fly, tried to deny to the small camp, but he has stout shield, so it took him a lot longer than expected. And they know Brewmaster's dead for ages, so they're going to try and pressure Silent here with the Inkswell.
Yeah, they're right on his head. Look at him. They're not giving him any space at all. And Silent just not going to survive this. He's actually going to go down again.
That's so bad.
He's not got a TP now.
Yeah, like... This is going to turn into Brew Core and Arc Warden support now because he can't get back into the lane. Oh dear.
That does burn.
You've got to respect that damage coming out from the stomp of the Inkswell like we talked about. The Walk of Shame. Now for Arc Warden.
Yep, there it goes. You done messed up, son. Take your walk.
Vanscore bot.
Ooh, doing damage to that Chen, and with these the arcane bolts coming through, it's a lot of damage. The Boundless Strike, not to save him, but might get the return kill. The creep just blocking him up a little bit here. FNJ trying to make his way through the tree line, but non-grata, he's speeding away, and with that salve means that it's just not a kill. FNJ does manage to cancel salve and get a bit of damage off the mischiefs away.
Yeah, non-grata doesn't have any regen though on this Beastmaster now, so with the courier going to mid lane, has to be a little bit careful.
Why did they decide to make this change to Mischief?
Do you know, that's a great question. There's been a lot of talk on Twitter recently. All the Monkey King players saying, please don't change it, and everybody else saying, it's too strong.
Yeah, I mean, the hero was good. They didn't change it. They just added one huge buff to the hero.
They've given him a point in phase shift for free.
Yeah.
I don't really understand.
No, me neither, dude. Me neither. Well, bashment in the middle lane. Equilibrium being used after the imprisonment, though. What do I feel about that?
My thrift rewarded.
Shen's in trouble, might be in trouble now as well, if they can get the slows going.
But FNJ is very, very scary, because the moment they turn around and put this penitence down, he's just going to get that Jingu stacks going very, very quickly, so damage needs to be careful.
These lanes are going really well for Gambit at the moment, though. They're winning all three lanes for now. Mid, not by much, but...
No, not by as much as we might have expected, but, you know, new game, new changes, new patch.
Almost new year, new you.
Yeah. You got any goals for the new year? Anything you want to achieve before 2018 is out?
Okay.
Top lane.
Yeah, I wanna get Immortal again after the MMR reset.
Easy flex. I knew you were gonna get it in some way, but shoehorning that one in there, no problems.
I have to try my best, you know. Yeah, he's actually put 2 points in Inkswell on King R as well on the Scrimshoke, which I'm surprised. Normally we see more points in Phantom's Embrace, but when you have this really potent combo with the Centaur, it doesn't surprise me too much. They just want to play for the burst damage.
Let's see, actually coming in around the back here with that ink spell. It's landing onto 2. This is going to be a lot of damage and a long old stun onto our Warden. They're going to use a Phantom's Embrace to keep him silenced up, and now an extra chunk of damage going to come through onto him as well. He is down. Meanwhile, the kill Yamich in the bottom lane. We'll keep our eyes on Always Want to Fly. He's still fighting out, but looks like everything's going to be okay. So, Winstrike losing the lanes, now losing 2 more heroes as well. It just seems to be hemorrhaging away from them.
Nomad, he's not leveling Holy Persuasion on Chen.
Good. Yeah, this is the right call, I think.
Is that standard?
I haven't actually seen any Chen games, but I've been theory crafting about him a lot. You know, when I'm up at night, I just have my pencil, my notepad. I just draw pictures of Chen and Centaur's nipples and talk about like what Chen could possibly do. But I like it, you know.
Like, I know Holy Persuasion at level 1 is really bad now. Like it's really bad because the creeps that you can take over are so poor. I assumed people would still be wanting to max it first, but apparently not. That's interesting.
I mean, I think it depends on whether your mid lane is being won or not, because generally it doesn't help you too much in your lane. Your opponents are going to draft and play around those creeps. But if you can make some effect on this mid lane, if you can go and gank and turn around this mid lane, that's what Chen has always been best at. So I don't know, but I would guess that the classic thing to do is go for Holy Persuasion if you think that you need to turn your mid lane around, which they really don't this game.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, am I making sense?
Yeah, you are.
Crystal clear.
Do you know which lane he definitely doesn't need the help as well?
Any of them?
Top lane.
Top lane,
I mean,
yeah.
The Start Warden is now 0-3-0. Has 20 last hits in 6.5 minutes.
Yep.
It's not looking good for Silent, it has to be said. And I worry that Gambit are going to get to this point in the game where Monkey King and Lone Druid are both really strong. Centaur's going to have a blink, and with the regen and the support of the Grimstroke behind them, and the regen from the Chen, as well, they are going to Deathball and start taking all your towers. You know, they're going to get first Roche as well. I'd like to see Medallion on the Chen, just to help that. Oh, top lane. They're
going on to the Beastmaster this time. He's going to be the recipient of the gank, and he goes down very quickly indeed. Silent trying to do a bit of damage, but it just does nothing.
You don't mean Beastmaster, do you?
I don't. Oh, damn it.
Come on, Nomad.
The other Beastmaster.
What, the bad master? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, the brilliant master.
Oh, okay. This Grimstroke's trying to wrap round from behind, but the
bottom lane, Van Score being chased a little bit here, but Non-Grata unable to connect with this gank, and actually using the penitence onto the bear there onto the boar, sorry, to get the kill.
Yeah, he put a point in Wild Axes on Beastmaster, which normally I wouldn't like, but when you're playing up against the Monkey King, if you can cut down those trees that he gets up onto.
Yeah, that's really important. Well, everything I said is out the window as Chen levels up Holy Persuasion, so
yeah, I was going to say, I'm not surprised. I think you still want to max this early on, but it's all about just making sure your safe laner has a decent time, and amplifying health regen of the Monkey King Jinga as well is always nice. So 2 points in Divine Favor, definitely okay.
Astral used onto the bear. I don't know exactly how OD works right now, but I'm fairly sure you want to use Equilibrium before Astral Imprison, right?
Yeah, you do. But if you're not missing too much mana and you're not planning on using orbs, then... But no, you want to use Equilibrium just as the Astral Imprisonment's about to finish.
Oh, I see.
It counts as when the spell damage hits, that's when you get the mana back.
Gotcha. That makes sense now.
Teaching with MoFarah and Nomad. We don't know what we're talking about, but we learn as we go along.
Yeah, it's an adventure. It's an adventure. This Hawk doing a lot of work as well. Gonna allow him to kill off a ghost, I think. He's just sending in, die little ghost, die.
Centaur's level 6 now as well, so they're probably going to want to try and use the Stampede top to get a kill, but... Oh, he TP'd bot.
Stroke, TPing away. Is he going to get out? He is. Ooh, he is just about.
Oh.
Very close. And that hurts for Winstrike because they've been very close to a kill. They haven't been close to a kill for a very long time. And,
I don't really understand why this Centaur left top lane, though. He was having such a good time. Why would you leave?
Yeah.
Like, now you're just wasting your time doing nothing, and there's a Hawk sitting right on top of you.
Yes, there is a little bit. Can you Holy Persuade the Hawk?
Good question. I assume so. But you wouldn't be able to control it, so... Yeah. Dude, this is the best chain creep you can get with a level 1 Holy Persuasion now.
Agreed. Yeah, I mean, we used to see this creep winning mid lanes alone years and years ago. You just go and sit in the mid lane and constantly spam out the chain lightning. It's such an annoying OP spell. It doesn't make any sense.
It used to do more damage, didn't it? I'm pretty sure.
It did indeed. But, the Beastmaster will chop him up and have some lovely Harpy burgers for dinner tonight. Very tasty.
The Brewmaster went to try and see if anyone was by the rune. He saw the Grimstroke and he's like, nope.
Yeah, that's not a hero I want to fight.
I am out of it.
They are actually going for this one as Silent comes in from the high ground as well. The Flux coming out, but the Hack and Old Ability are coming in as well. They root up, always want to fly and cleave him and Twain. Meanwhile, King are more than happy to tank up at the bottom as they go for Silent as well. But the Horsey just can't keep up with the Spectral Dude. And that is going to be Winstrike losing
as well.
one.
Alpha Ninja. Oh,
no, there's nothing he can do. There's nothing he can do. The Mischief, 3 seconds still until cooldown is off. So Winstrike do find a kill in the bottom lane. Finally, at last, they find another kill.
Yeah, and this only starting to come back into the game now. When you get some levels online, more points in the imprisonment, your lane starts to get a lot easier. You can farm a lot quicker. So, catching up.
Ooh, Centaur trying to chase down Always Want to Fly, but Always Want to Fly is going to drunken brawler himself away. No real danger there as the Inkswell won't connect. But if he gets the stun off, Always Want to Fly could still be in some trouble.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Not. Oh, nice little stroke of fate there onto 2. Only level 1 though, so not doing a whole lot of damage.
OD's moving up though as well. Oh no, he's chilling. Never mind. The Chen got the D ward, I think, so they decided against it if they didn't have vision. Don't want to defend their tower anymore.
Very weird build on the Monkey King, by the way. He went 4 points Bounder Strike, then 2 in Tree Dance and 2 in Jingu. So
yeah, I've been seeing this a lot more though, where people just put 2 points in Jingu and then max out their other 2 skills instead. It's all about the laning stage with the 2 points in Jingu, and then afterwards, you kind of just want to farm as quickly as you can for a little while. So you max out the Boundless and the Tree Dance as well before finishing the Jingu. Brewmaster. Oh, okay, he's fine.
He's just trying to get his level 6 up here, hanging around in a dangerous place. But you know, if he gets his 6 a little bit earlier, then it will all be worth it. And now Silent comes in and says, "That's going to be my farm. Thank you very much."
Bot lane though as well. This Beastmaster's just shoving the lane so hard. He's actually roaring.
Just completely messed up those assets. What's going on?
I meant bot lane.
Playing around with King R a little bit. Meanwhile, at mid, they jump on the Skywrath and take him down. No problems at all. That Stampede coming in useful. Meanwhile, Nongrata still playing with King R, forcing him back onto the high ground. This is going to be my tower. You will not defend it.
This is the timing that I was talking about, though, with the Lone Druid and the Monkey King. They just start taking away the towers. Like, Centaur doesn't even have blink yet, and they don't care. They're just going to run at you.
Although, that's a lot of damage coming through onto the Centaur Warrunner. If they can finish him off, this would be a good kill, but he's got that hood out onto himself, so he's not going to take damage from the immolation. They'll throw him up into the air and then bring him back down with a Dispel, and then a couple of right clicks from Iceberg will finish the job. And there is a kill for the Outworld Devourer. Meanwhile, in the back lines, Silent's finding himself a bear. He just wants a little bit of Spirit Bear here. And,
can he get the last hit though?
Oh, okay. Iceberg comes in, gonna allow him to stack up a couple of... But you can return in that.
Nope, he resummoned.
Oh, he resummoned.
Which is why I was so surprised. I was so surprised that Iceberg used the Astral Imprisonment.
No, okay. I guess he's not taking damage inside the Astral, so he is allowed to
you can... Resummon. Oh, the courier though. Oh, I don't know what it was doing there.
Okay.
Maybe Lone Druid, a little bit of miss micro with the bear, maybe. Possibly. They smoke up on die though with the Beastmaster. The Sky has level 6 now, so they really want to get a kill with this the combo.
Yeah, Primal Roar just came off cooldown. Hello, Mr. Dahak, if they can find him. That'd be great. The Hawk coming in, giving them some vision, but they'll just see the Spirit Bear running away. No chance of getting him in the jungle, and will even spot out this Hawk here as well, as it's under tower. So Dahak definitely knowing that something's up, but he's not moving quick enough as Nongrata comes in and gets a roar off, and now the Mystic Flare should come down as well with the Silence as well. It's too much damage for Dahak. He is going to drop, despite the Stampede being popped. The Soulbind means that, oh, just about OD getting up onto that cliff with a well-timed 4-star. But the tower... Oh my god, the pushing power on the side of Winstrike is actually insane. They get one pick off, and now with the 2 Arc Wardens, with the Beastmaster, with the Aura, with the 2 Necropucks, this tower is made mincemeat out of.
Yeah, they have to be super careful because they've run round as like 3 or 4 heroes on Gambit now. They really need Centaur to get his blink because he's fallen behind a little bit here considering the laning stage that he had. Had a great start, but just needs a little bit of farming time now.
Well, Divine Favor looks really pretty on this catapult. Hadn't seen that before.
Okay. He didn't... Why? Friend, you seem to have disappeared. I don't know if anybody can hear me at the moment, but we're gonna go for some. Oh, you're here. Okay,
Yep.
that's fine.
Just had a very brief disconnect.
It's fine. It happens.
We can.
I don't know if
hear you now,
anybody could hear me, but
though. No, they wouldn't have been able to.
God, I was doing some sick play-by-play casting.
Did something happen?
Yeah, they fought for the bounty room top.
Okay.
The Chen died. So nothing, nothing major.
happened. Sorry, Van Score.
They've pinned out Iceberg on this OD.
Oh, in they go. Phantom's Embrace coming as well. The Force Lock going to buy him a little bit of time, but Alpha and Jay going to pull out the Wukong's command as they jump forwards onto the Owl Devourer here. He's cell-bound up to this Earth Panda, which is super annoying for him as he just wants to get away. King R jumps on his face, though. He uses the Astral. Van Score, it's all surrounding Iceberg here, and they will get this kill.
Beastmaster is pushing in bot lane, though, at the same time, so they're trying to get something in return, at least. It's not going to be for free. And they are going to stack up Necro Boot. They've got one on the Arc Warden. Beastmaster's going for Necro 3 as well.
Yeah, that does surprise me as the creep clear is pretty good on the side of Gambit. I mean, they've got this Stroke of Fate, they've got the Monkey King, they've got the Centaur as well, so... It doesn't seem like a game you want to stack up too hard, but...
If you kill 3 of those Necro Creeps with a Boundless Strike and Monkey King, you just kill yourself because of that... Is it last word on the Necro Creep? Where it does the return
yes,
damage?
so.
Yeah, you just kill
Last
yourself
will,
from
I
100
think,
to 0.
actually.
Last will.
Yeah.
Close.
Final will. Meanwhile, Hand of Midas is coming out onto Silence, so Necrobook level 1, then Midas. This guy's going to farm up a Storm. Meanwhile, up at top, Gambit are taking this tier 2, but the push is coming a little bit at bottom, but Grimstrike just comes in and will defuse that situation. But Nongrada just pushing down mid. This guy, he just wants to push towers, make space, and get himself some gold, get his team some gold, more importantly.
I've got to say, by the way, I was wondering why Chen put a Holy Point in Holy Persuasion. It's because it has the recall effect with it as well. I don't know if you heard me say that, but
All right.
it was. That's why he's put the 1 value point in it.
Gotcha. For catapults and for sending people back. Catapults are level 1, by the way.
Does it send you back, or does it just recall you to the Chen? Yeah, teleport. You can't send them back to base anymore. It teleports them to the Chen, so you can use it globally, but it brings you to the Chen.
So basically, Kotl Mark
Yes.
II.
Yes, it's
Kotl
old
reloaded.
Kotl.
Yeah.
But
Kotl 2 reloaded.
it has a 6-second delay though, which is quite a long time.
That is quite a long time.
And if you take damage in those 6 seconds, you don't teleport.
Meanwhile, Skyrath is he's gone for a pretty interesting build here.
Yeah, they're looking to kill this Centaur though at the same time.
And with the Mystic Flare damage as well, is it enough? The silence comes out. Yes, it will be. Yamich finds that kill. Meanwhile, Dahak trying to turn things around with his bear. Can he do enough damage though?
Try and kill the Necro Creeps now instead. Please give us some kind of gold.
Yeah, he's not getting a single entangle here. The bear
the
takes
turn
damage, and
armor.
now they come in. Yamich with the Arcane Bolt, but the Fear is out from the bear. Going to send back the Skyrath. Make it very tricky to get this kill, but they want the bear at least. Nongrada chasing it down and does get the 300 gold for killing that. Now, Winstrike coming in. Always want to fly. Invis rune up, but I think they see him. They do not.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, yeah, they do. That's so true.
They have the sentry down. He's like, oh, the Maelstrom hit me.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm out of here, boys.
Yeah, he really wanted to use a split there to try and get something done. But
Meanwhile, Iceberg has
Unfortunately
actually got himself the BKB now, which is quite insane.
he's farming very well. This is you tend to want some kind of maneuverability on OD, whether it's Blink or Force. But he really needs the BKB straight away this game afterwards. Picks up the 4 staff, goes into the BKB after.
Yep. New
Might
phase
just go
boots
for
as
the
well.
Hex next as well.
There's a really interesting change they've made to phase boots, actually. Now they're actually an activatable, which obviously it wasn't before. Which means that, yeah, it's really interesting. So you can move through units and turn more quickly, and gives you a 10% range hero speed boost when you activate it. Yeah, it's really interesting. It's only for 3 seconds, though, just like a little boost. But definitely, yeah, a big change to the phase boots there.
I like that he's picked it up this game because of the armor it gives you though as well. It's good for the chase with the active, but the armor's also really good against this Monkey King and the Druid.
Yes, agreed.
Especially on a hero that doesn't usually build armor until later on, maybe with like a Shivas or something.
I mean, I'm just glad I can build phase boots on Slark now. I mean, I could last patch as well, but I mean, like in 7.20.
Let's not talk about the items that you build on Slark.
Had this conversation many times, but I will forever insist that Solar Crest is a great item on that hero.
Sure. Okay.
Just wait, just wait. TI9, everybody's going to be going Solar Crest Slark. Oh man, if only someone told us how good this was.
Monkey King's looking to push out mid, but they're smoked here on Winstrike. They might possibly look to try and go Roche instead, but the Chen has the catapult in, so they're actually walking top. Ooh. Radiant think they have vision of this, but because of the smoke, Fanscore and the center as well might be in trouble.
In behind, Gambit going hard onto Iceberg here, but Iceberg will pop the BKB to send this one around. Meanwhile, Stampede going to be used for the retreat here. Fanscore might be the one caught out here as Winstrike annihilate the little Chen. Meanwhile, well, Yamich trying to get some damage out onto King R, and now with the Brew, they'll send him up into the air and take care of the Grimstroke as well. Meanwhile, Silent, he's just farming out whilst all this is going on. He's doing his thing.
I mean, that fight looks okay for Gambit, but then you realise they've taken the fight right outside the Roche pit. So both your supports are dead. They have Necro books galore to be able to take this Roshan.
Definitely.
Pretty easy.
Straight into the Roche pit with this bubble. And yeah, I mean, they've got a great Roche lineup, has to be said. If only there was a Shaker in this game, hey? So many units. I mean, you do have Grimstroke, but...
yeah, Grimstroke with the stroke of fate would be pretty good. They actually
he's actually stuck inside the pit. Centaur Warrunner couldn't escape. It was a wall of creeps. Oh my god! Now they're jumping onto the Lone Druid as well. Global heal is used. Is it enough though? Jojo is actually going to get away from this one. Meanwhile, inside the pit, Silent just gets to work, kills Roshan, leaves the Aegis on the floor. Silent, Aegis. Oh, they're leaving it for Iceberg. Okay. Meanwhile, they kill the bear, and now they're chasing down Vanscore as well. They make short work of him. Double silence out from King R, but it's not quite enough to slow them down, or is it? Iceberg still chasing forwards. He's got his force path in 6 seconds, and the phase boots up. Doesn't really know what he wants to go for here. Meanwhile, the hack just gets back to farming. What are you airing about, my friend?
What just happened? Because the centaur just blinks in the pit. Did he blink in the pit and die? He did, right?
Yes.
And then the Monkey King just jumped in, tried to Wukongs to get the Roche, and then died again because he didn't have any backup.
Yes.
So, what was their plan there?
I mean, I found it hilarious that there was a wall of creeps which trapped the centaur inside.
Like, if you miss your initiation with this centaur, you know, fair enough, but just back off. Just wait. Just give him the Roche, because now you've given away a Monkey King death. I think, did Chen die as well? I think he did.
Yes, the Chen. Yeah, the Chen died. Grimstroke survived.
So, you're just giving away more kills than you need to at that point.
Looking at Silent here, maybe they can actually get this kill. They stun him up, Double Edge is out, and he's just not really live through this. Silent, a little bit brave with his farming location there, and Afterlife and Alpha Ninja will get that kill.
They do have a decent amount of catch on this Radiant side, so you do have to be careful.
Always a threat. Meanwhile, in the trees, the Mystic Flare doing a fair amount of damage to Alpha Ninja, but Yamich will be... No, he actually hits the monkey before he dies. Value.
That was close.
But now, always with a fly rooted up in the first hit and taken care of. Okay.
Yeah. He got Savage Reward, so it looked like he was just going to be able to run away there with the extra movement speed, but then he gets rooted straight away.
Yeah.
It was pretty unfortunate.
It was almost worth it until the Beastmaster comes sprinting into the fray for some reason. And why is he coming into that?
Hey?
Why was he coming into that? Those heroes there.
Who knows? Okay. I think he was just hanging around already there, trying to see if he could help his Art Warden and Skyroth.
Well, Iceberg's going to get to work on this tower, but of course, the sieging power off an OD is never that overwhelming. But then Nongrada comes in, and this tower is being made to look like a bit off a quivering leaf in the wind.
With the glyph, they have to show respect. Look at Centaur though in the bot lane. He's really trying to set up down here, but It's so low committal pushing out here by Silent with the Necrobooks. Like, he knows something's
Say
up.
that. Oh, okay. I thought he was just going to walk down the steps there. Like, doop-a-doop-a-doop.
He knows.
Yeah.
He's fallen for this trick once already.
He has indeed. He's taken to this high ground. I'd like to see him place a Spark Wraith just about here, though. I think that would be a good move just to make himself even safer. Ah, Spark. Oh, okay. Spark Wraiths are lesser fragments of Zet's original self. So every time he places down as a Spark Wraith, he's putting down a little bit of himself.
So then why does he always get more and more farm? If he's just, like, losing his body.
That's his original self. He's now like an omniscient being, so it's cool.
Does it like refresh at the start of every game, or does he like? Are we eventually going to get to a point where nobody can pick Art Warden anymore because he's not there anymore?
No. Each game of Dota is a different timeline. The Dota is a simulation of the final fight at the end of time in the universe.
Right. Okay. Sorry, man. I should have known.
Come on, man.
Look how long Centaur's been standing here, by the way. He's just waiting, chilling.
I'm pretty sure he's starting a novel. Afterlife is the Memoirs of Afterlife, chapter 14.
Oh, Grimstroke.
I don't
Got
care.
Rorda top lane.
Yeah, it's a Grimstroke dying. 4 heroes up here. It's gonna happen. Meanwhile, the Memoirs of Afterlife, chapter 15. That's when I was stuck in the trees as Centaur. Yeah, Vanscore is getting wrecked here, and Afterlife's still waiting. And now he's gonna TP out.
And they're going to lose a tier 2 in the top lane at the same time. So
fantastic.
Not a good trade for a Gambit there at all.
And he missed the stun.
Okay, well if he gets imprisoned here,
he can at least stampede away. So that was interesting. That was a fun like 5 minutes for Afterlife.
Necrobooks galore here.
Yeah, the Wukong's going to do a lot to keep Winstrike out. Iceberg, of course, has this Aegis, so not particularly scared of dying here, but of course doesn't want to give it away for freebies. And then we'll just rotate round to this middle lane. They've got a tier 2 to take, so they'll deal with that first. Meanwhile, Roshan. The Aegis will be running out in, 24 seconds, so not long left.
You really want to get all the outer towers if you can with this first Aegis. Try and set up for the second Aegis. And then that's when you really start to try and go high ground.
Yeah, doing his best with this Stroke of Fate just to push out the lane.
It feels like they've missed their timing a little bit on the Radiant. Like the Centaur got his blink a little bit too late. And although they were ahead for so much time in that game, eventually you might shut down Art Warden at the start of the game, but he farms like an absolute madman with this Necrobook Midas Mjolnir build and into bots as well. It's just so greedy.
Yeah.
Farms so fast.
Yeah, he's gonna fly up that no earth now. And yeah, as you said, I don't think Gambit have much of a chance of slowing him down. The draft is extremely mid to early focused, and they lost that. Winstrike with some fantastic rotations. Gotta give credit to them. They're playing pretty well this game.
Yeah, they are. They're doing very well. They know they've got the late game. They can just chill out. With Odie did go Hex as well, by the way. I'm not surprised. They just want a little bit more catch. Like, you raw somebody at the moment, but then you can't really stop anybody else. So if you can get like a Hex on the Centaur when he blinks in or something.
Oh, Raw is out though. Then they actually get the 4-staff off, but never mind. The Sanity's eclipsed. Tears the hack in two. And now Iceberg turns his attention to the Centaur as well. Gets to work. Although Centaur is going to stampede away, but Iceberg gets the imprisonment. And when he comes out, this Centaur won't be lasting very long. Meanwhile, King R goes down also. Oh, the Arcane Bolt going to give him away. Do they have an interrupt? They have a silence, but no, he actually survives just about inside a base. Centaur lives to Centaur another day. But they've
only... Monkey King?
He's farming jungle.
What? Okay, I mean, he's got Wukongs. Like, you've just lost your tier 3, and now you're losing your melee racks.
Back, BKB, you wanted the BKB before
the fight. Right, okay.
Makes sense.
But you've already lost your buildings.
It's fine, it's fine. They're stunned up. Nice interruption by Afos. He actually pops the BKB, and now the Wukongs as well. Iceberg's dropping low, but it's not enough to find himself a kill. He will get the Jingu off by just going on this illusion. But the illusion, it just kills King R. Oh no.
Okay, well, that's your 10-second BKB down on the Monkey King. And now they're like, well...
Oh yeah, we'll just go in. We've got a BKB off our own. Yeah, Afterlife not looking good. They actually killed the tree! Oh, Affin and Jay, he jumped to a tree which is being destroyed. I think the axe is... I don't even know what killed it, but... Oh dear.
Oh no. Affin and Jay. Brewmaster gets rooted up though and gets stunned up.
Could be going down here. Yeah, under the tier 4s. He's going to die. There you go. You got something.
Where's that tower going?
Yeah, it's off. Doesn't want to be on this planet anymore. Meanwhile, the bear is just gonna be sacrificed, and GG's called. Just like that, Gambit lose game 1. Can't help but feel there was a bit of miscommunication, a little bit of non-committal there, perhaps.
Like, I don't know, that was so weird because they already lost their melee racks, and then Monkey King jumped in anyway. Why don't you just, chill? I think your druid was up in like 10 seconds or something. Just fight around your next set of racks. There's 5 on your, all together. You don't need to go in one by one. Felt like they're getting a little bit tilted there at the end.
Yeah, I don't really know how to describe that, but I mean, Winstrike with a really convincing game, actually. The Gambit looked pretty good, and then Winstrike managed to pull out the bag and turn things around, which is quite impressive, I'd say.
Yeah, they did a good job.
They were fighting when their heroes weren't the strongest, and they still managed to pull it off, and with some great rotations and some great power, they managed to pull it off. So, yeah, Gambit falling down as Winstrike take the lead in this best-of-3 series. We'll be back with game number 2 very shortly, as we see if Gambit can equalize things or whether Winstrike will be moving through to the semi-finals to face off versus Hope. Empire Hope, that is. We'll see you very shortly for that game.